What's up YouTube? Chris here from High Island DIY. Today we're going to be installing a dead ringer replacement sight for a Mossberg 500. It replaces the bead. It's a Lexan light pipe. We'll show installing that. And also we're going to be installing Uncle Mike's swivel sling mount for a Mossberg 500. Here's what comes inside the Uncle Mike's swivel mount kit. This is for the rear. You're gonna have to drill a hole in your stock to put this in place, and then this replaces the end cap. As you can see, this shotgun already has it in place. We'll show installing it on a different shotgun. This is actually a Mossberg 520 gauge. The package says that it only fits 12 gauges. It does not. It also fits 20 gauges depending on what your 20 gauge is, I believe. Now this is a Mossberg 500C, and I believe the C denotes the years that it was manufactured in this configuration before they changed it, because they do change little things along the way. As for the Mossberg 500C, the 20 gauge, even though this says it's for a 12 gauge, it threads right in. So we have the shotgun in the vise here, just a towel around it to protect it from any marring of the vise jaws. Now we need to drill a hole to mount our rear sling mount, and we're supposed to use a 7/32 drill bit to make a countersink hole so that this head fits down slightly into the stock, and then a 5/32 drill bit to finish the hole so there's enough left for the threads on the sling mount to grab onto. So we'll start by marking out where we want it, and then we'll move on to drilling the hole. I'm going to go 1 inch from where the butt pad meets the back of the stock for the hole. Take a tape measure and mark it out so you have an idea of where you're going to start your drill. Then with the larger 7/32 drill bit, you just need to make a shallow hole. Try to go in as level as possible. You don't need to drill very deep with the larger of the two drill bits. It's just to give that a little recess so that it mounts level. And change out drill bits to the 5/32. And if you look at the mounting stud, it's only about 1 inch long, so you don't want to go any deeper than you absolutely need to. That should be good enough. Now you need to have a small punch or a nail that will fit into the sling mount to turn it into place. I've got a nail here to go through the head of the sling mount. We're just going to turn it into place. You're going to want to stop when the hole is opposite the direction the stock is running. I think we can get another half a turn out of that. Alright, try to line it up as straight as you can so it looks nice and professional. And then we're going to mount the loop on it for the sling. Loosen the bolt up on the side or the end cap, and push it in and it swings open. Slide it through, put it back in place, then we just turn that back so it can't open back up. And there the rear sling mount is installed. This is a Mossberg 500A, and this is the one we're going to be putting the sling mount on the front. We're going to be replacing this barrel nut. Now this has an ATI stock on it, So it already has a sling mount stud in the back, so we won't need to drill this one. But we're going to replace this. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to open our action. Then we're going to loosen up the barrel nut. Turn it all the way out of your tube, your magazine tube. And then pull your barrel straight off. Alright, here's the barrel. This is what we're going to be taking out. Now, inside here, there's usually a small washer, a retaining washer that slips over the threads of this to keep it in place. I've already removed this one, and the way you do that is they provide a small spanner wrench that you put down over the top, and you just slowly turn that retaining washer off. And you can pull this free. Then you need to put the new one in, and they provide a new retaining washer. You put it in place over it, and you use the same spanner wrench to turn it down into place. Once you have that retaining washer in place, you simply need to put the barrel back into the gun. Open your action. Your barrel should drop into place on top of your magazine tube. Tighten the new barrel nut in place. And close your action. Just finger tight, you don't need a wrench or anything. Now we're going to set the sling mount so it's straight in line with the rear one. And there's a small nut underneath the head of it where you can turn that nut independently. So we'll get that lined up where we want it. And then it's a 3/8 wrench. We'll tighten that nut down on top, and that should lock it into place. Once you have that tightened up on the front, all you need to do to put on the rest of it, the sling mount, is turn this out on the side, push it in, and it folds up out of the way, so you can put it through here, push it back, line it up, and then you can just loosen that back or tighten it up so that it won't unlock, and you're finished. It's a simple and easy way to put a sling mount on your Mossberg 500, whether it's a 20 gauge or a 12 gauge. Here are the two finished Mossberg 500s. The top one is the 12 gauge, the bottom is the 20 gauge. They both have the exact same sling mounts from Uncle Mike's. This is a 20 gauge one. Replace the original nut, no problem. There's the 12 gauge, same thing. So even though the package says 12 gauge only, I know for sure that the 500C models will take this part. The back, of course, is just a simple drill-in mount. Now we're going to move on to installing the replacement for the top front bead on here with the dead ringer light pipe. For replacing the front bead on this Mossberg 500, all we're going to do is simply take a pair of needle nose pliers, and this is threaded in, so we just need to turn it out. And it comes out. There's the hole in the end of the barrel that we're going to be putting the new sight onto. Now this is actually meant to mount on top of a vent rib on top of a barrel. This barrel does not have one, so I'm going to see if this sight will mount on and stay secure even though it's not mounted into the vent rib. Here is what comes inside the package. There's 5 different mounting screws because it's a universal, so whether it's a Mossberg or Remington, Beretta, it fits just about any 12 gauge shotgun out there. And also, even though it doesn't say it does fit 20 gauge Mossbergs. Then comes with a small mount with a light pipe already in it, and 3 others so you can change the color for whatever you prefer. Next thing you're going to want to do is figure out which one of the screws is the correct threads for your barrel. After you find which one of the screws is the correct one for your shotgun, you're going to need to remove the light pipe out of the center piece, or out of the mounting piece. Just pull it straight out. There's a small hook on it that keeps it in place. And you're just going to mount it right on top of the barrel or onto the vent rib, whichever you're doing. Just lay it right on top like that. Tighten it down. Try to keep it straight. Okay, I think I have it straight on there, and it's definitely tightened down. Now we need to reinstall the light pipe. Put the light pipe in, the larger end faces you, and there's a small hook on it that goes down toward the barrel. Push it into place, you'll hear a small click. And there it's installed, much easier to see. It should slightly glow in low light conditions. Make target acquisition much easier. That's going to be all for this video. I just want to show you guys a few small, easy modifications you can make to your Mossberg 500, and to show you that there is a lot of crossover parts. Some other ones I've run into are the ATI stocks. They fit on the 20 gauge and 12 gauge, even though they're only marketed for the 12 gauges. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.